This piece of plastic right here is broke off, so I'd say that needs to be replaced.
What's up, guys? Welcome to part 3 of the 2013 Mustang GT rebuild. We got a lot of stuff that we got planned to get done this week, and hopefully by the end of this video we'll have this car 95% done.
Yeah, like when we on the last episode, we still hadn't gotten in the strut and all that assembly up there on the front right. So we've got that in now, so we're going to get that installed and try to get all the wheels and tires back and installed and get this so we can drive the car. And then hopefully by the end of the video, towards the end, we'll have panels back from Bodyman Mike and get her slapped on.
And then the only thing we should have left after that is to get the rear deck lid panel installed that was broken. And we got something special coming for that, so stay tuned for updates on that project.
Let's get to work.
Alright guys, got the new strut assembly in for the Mustang. As you can see, the old one, pretty sure has lowering springs on it, or a lowering spring. So let's open this stock one and see what it looks like, and then we'll compare them, see if we need to exchange springs or if this new one even has a spring on it. Alright, so the new one did not have any spring at all, which is fine. So we'll get our spring compressor and compress that spring there, take this cap off, put it back on the new one, put the new cap on that. And this is an OEM shock. There you see the Fomoco T407H, and here's the number on the old one, T407H. So same thing, so that's awesome. It should fit perfectly, so let's get it switched. So as I was getting ready to work on these struts, I got a call from Bill and Tire Man, and my tires were ready. So here we go. They're all ready to be put on. We were able to save the rear tire, which the tread's not the greatest, but it'll get Andy by until he can recoup some of all of his parts payments. And then here's the two new front ones. So we'll go ahead and get that strut put on and then put all these babies on. See how it looks. Actually be down on his tires and actually drive. Alright, so as I'm getting ready to put this strut back together, it looks like we've got a damaged strut cap here. You can see that's bent. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be bent or not. I haven't really found a picture of it, but this is broke. This piece of plastic right here is broke off. So I'd say that needs to be replaced. So now I'll go ahead and put the other 3 tires on, but then we gotta wait and get a part in. Alright, so since I've got to wait on a part to put that other strut in, let's go ahead and put our new tires at least on this side, and then we can get that back, at least the back end, back on the ground. So that looks pretty sweet. We got those two on, and now we're kind of stuck until we get that other piece in for the strut, and then we can put all that back together. So pretty much time to put her back under cover, I guess. Alright guys, it's a couple days later. Here's the old broken strut mount. Here's the new one that just came in. Exact same number. BR3318183CF. So, and I did find out that I'd never had one of these apart before, so are not supposed to be separate like this is. So that is trash. So now let's get this thing installed, get the springs compressed back down, and we'll be ready to get that thing mounted and put the tire on. I don't know if you can see what I just did there on the, since it was on time lapse, but if you do lift up the top of this strut mount, it will come off of that bearing, and so then you've got those little balls just laying around in there. So I went ahead, one of them must have fell off somewhere, I couldn't find it, so I took the old one apart and stole a ball out of it. I'm going to keep these in case that ever happens again. But anyway, it's back the way it's supposed to be now. But I think I have to get these compressed down even more so that that cap sits down on there enough to where I can screw the bolt on here hand tight, and then you got to hold this with top of something else as you screw the bolt down, because this spins, so you can't just put the nut on it and tighten it down and the whole thing spins. So alright, so this is finished. We got it measured to the same exact as the other side that's already on the car, so should just be able to slap that baby on there whenever it's next time I get outside when it's light. So that part's done on the Mustang. Now I think that's all we can do tonight on that. Alright, so now that we've got that strut assembly all put back together, let's actually get to put this thing on. Should be pretty straightforward and easy, I hope. Let's see. Alright, all these are installed and everything went back on just perfect, so I'm going to get torque wrench and get everything torqued down to specs, and then we should be able to put the tire on and actually get it on the ground. Okay, that should be it down there. Tires on. Got to set it back down and tighten up these bolts to spec. Before I do that, I need to take this bar off and get the cover back on the motor. Okay, so this is the first drive on the car since it's been repaired with the suspension. So I'm going to try to back this thing out of this tight spot we are in and back up the driveway, and then drive forward and check and make sure that everything is straight. The steering wheel is straight and the tires and everything track straight. If not, then we're going to have it aligned, but I don't think it messed up anything of the alignment, so let's check it out.
A few moments later.
Okay, I didn't feel any problems. The steering wheel was straight, the wheels were straight, everything. Hey, no free rides. So I was pretty glad that. And man, this thing sounds mean. I'll wait and let Andy be here to rev it up for a few times before we. I don't want to ruin it for him on the film. So anyway, all I've got left to do until I get body panels back is put those air baffles on both sides of the radiator. That's about all we can do other than work on the plugs for the fog lights. Everything else is just waiting on body panels. So. Well, it's a beautiful morning this morning, like 57 degrees. So I think I'll work out here on the Mustang, Andy's Mustang, and finish up those few little pieces like the air baffles on both sides and get the engine cover back on and all that. And then that thing will be ready for the body panels, which should be done this week, I hope. Somewhere in the midst of that flurry of work, the camera died and I didn't know it. So I got everything ready for body panels. Got the cover back on, the bolts torqued back down on that brace across there, all the intake stuff routed, got the ductwork done through there. Everything's solid and secure. Got the air baffles installed on both sides of the condenser. So everything is totally ready except for if we have to do any kind of wiring for the fog lights, which I haven't dug into that yet. So I'll check on that later. But as far as this goes, if body panels come in this week, then we're ready to put them on. I think we'll start by jacking the car up, getting this tire off so we can look around under there and try to get the inner fender liner snapped in somewhere where it's going to be, and then put the fender on. Usually I do it reverse, but these fender liners on these Mustangs are kind of like self-sufficient. They stay in there by themselves without being hooked very much to the fender.
All right, so we ran into a little bit of a problem here. The holes that we've got for this, we had a couple little these pins right here that kind of stick through it. Well, it worked for this one, but with stuff like this and pretty much every other thing, it's a lot bigger. And so we're gonna have to run to the store real quick and grab a couple of those pins that are actually the right size. All right, so since we're about to have to go get parts from the store for the other side of getting that fender liner installed, we're gonna put this fender on and make sure there's nothing else we need before we do that. So we'll get that done real quick. Woo-wee! Man, that is one clean looking fender right there. So even the gaps are perfect throughout the whole side there. So now we're gonna head to the store and get the hardware we need for the other side to get that fender liner installed, and then we should be moving on to the hood.
A few moments later.
All right, so we're back from the store and we found a couple of these screw-in clips that we needed. And so we're gonna try to get those in there and see if they work. Alright, so we got our passenger side fender on and installed, and the fender liner is good to go. And so now it's time for the hood. Alright, so we finally have got the hood and both fenders aligned to look where the gaps all look pretty good. All the gaps on each side match each other, and they look flush in factory, and so that's great. We also got the heat shield up here on the top of the hood added, and the 37.5 push pins that hold it up. And so, yeah, on to the next thing now. I think we're about to put on those rocker panels.
Shut it, let's see how it looks.
Oh, we also got the functional hood vents in there too, so they look pretty good.
Right. Starting to look like a real car again. Just needs that bumper.
Alright, so we're about to install this passenger side rocker panel real quick, and we actually got all the pins already in here, and luckily Dad had some left over from the last project he did with the 13 Mustang, and so we didn't have to try to go scour the internet to buy them. But I'll just go ahead and get this snapped in real quick, and then our passenger side should be about done. Oh, hey guys, what's going on? I'm just sitting here pretending to drive my car. It's obviously not done yet. So, something I don't know if too many of you guys knew about, but the car, the shop, and my dad are all about 3 hours away from me. So every time you see me in a video, I've made that trek all the way down there to help him work on stuff. So, we actually got a lot done this week in this week's video, and we got the fenders on, we got the hood on, we got suspension all figured out, wheels and tires. So we're that much closer to having this project done, and hopefully the next video you see, this thing will be all finished and out on the road again. So can't wait for that. I'm super excited, ready to bring it back home so I can drive it instead of driving the other car I've been having to drive in between videos. So thanks so much for watching, really appreciate it. See you guys next time. And always remember, don't retire it if you can rebuild it. See you guys next week. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in and watching this week's episode of Rebuild It. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any awesome content. Have a good one.